Fletcher from Wolverhampton Music Service. Thanks for joining me to learn these 3 tracks. There's no singing involved. We're going to learn a tongue twister called Coffeepots, the Ken and Barbecue beatbox, and chilled out clap rap. So let's start with Coffeepots. Shall I show you how it goes? All I want is a proper cup of coffee made in a proper copper coffee pot. I may be off my dot, but I want a proper coffee in a proper copper pot. Tin coffee pots and iron coffee pots, they're no use to me. If I can't have a proper cup of coffee in a proper copper coffee pot, I'll have a cup of tea. So let's try with me doing the first line and you copying and see how far we get. All I want is a proper cup of coffee, made in a proper copper coffee pot. I may be off my dot, but I want a proper coffee in a proper copper pot. Tin coffee pots and iron coffee pots, they're no use to me. Tin coffee pots and iron coffee pots, they're no use to me. If I can't have a proper cup of coffee in a proper copper coffee pot, I'll have a cup of tea. If I can't have a proper cup of coffee in a proper copper coffee pot, I'll have a cup of tea. Well done. Now let's try it with the backing track. It goes a little bit faster, but let's see if we can all stay together. So remember, all I want is a proper cup of coffee.
All I want is a proper cup of coffee made in a proper copper coffee pot. I may be off my dot, but I want a proper coffee in a proper copper pot. Tin coffee pots and iron coffee pots, they're no use to me. If I can't have a proper cup of coffee in a proper copper coffee pot, I'll have a cup of tea.
All I want is a
All I want.
And I'm just going to stop it there because the next thing is to layer it up. So you can either join in with family and get them to do the other layers, or with the backing track you can sing along with either the male voice or the female voice, or you can do your own part. So let's try it all the way through. We're going to say it all the way through together once, and then the second time you can either take the male voice or the female voice, or you can join in with me in the third part.
All I want is a proper cup of coffee made in a proper copper coffee pot. I may be off my dot, but I want a proper coffee in a proper copper pot. Tin coffee pots and iron coffee pots, they're no use to me. If I can't have a proper cup of coffee in a proper copper coffee pot, I'll have a cup of tea.
All I want is a
All I want is a
All I want is a proper cup of coffee made in a proper copper coffee pot. I may be off my dot, but I want a proper coffee in a proper copper pot. Tin coffee pots and iron coffee pots, they're no use to me. If I can't have a proper cup of coffee in a proper copper coffee pot, I'll have a cup of tea. Next, let's try the Ken and Barbie beatbox. This is one of my favourites, and there are 3 parts that you have to learn for this. The first one goes itsy bitsy, itsy bitsy, itsy bitsy, ditsy hippopotamus. Try that with me. Ready? Itsy bitsy, itsy bitsy, itsy bitsy, ditsy hippopotamus. And if we try it with the backing track, we're going to really bring out the tss sound so that we get a cymbal sound for the tss. Itsy bitsy, itsy bitsy, itsy bitsy, ditsy hippopotamus. Let's Let's try it with the backing. Ready? Itsy bitsy, itsy bitsy, itsy bitsy, ditsy hippopotamus. Itsy bitsy, itsy bitsy, itsy bitsy, ditsy hippopotamus. Itsy bitsy, itsy bitsy, itsy bitsy, ditsy hippopotamus. Very good, well done. Time to learn the next bit. So the next line is barbecue, Ken and barbecue, barbecue, Ken and barbecue. So we're saying barbecue, Ken and barbecue. Let's try that. 2, 3, 4. Barbecue, Ken and barbecue, barbecue, Ken and barbecue, barbecue, Ken and barbecue, barbecue, Ken and barbecue. Very good. And our last line is the really tricky one. We're going to have to practice this one slowly, I think. So the words are chuck a chop of chicken or chop a chipotle chili up. So chuck as in throw, chuck a chop of chicken or chop a chipotle chili up. Chuck a chop of chicken or chop a chipotle chili up. And make lots of the ch sound. Chuck a chop of chicken or chop a chipotle chili up. But that goes quite fast with the backing track. You might need to practice that first. Let's have a go with the backing track and see if you can join in. Ready? And chuck a chop of chicken or chop a chipotle chili up. Chuck a chop of chicken or chop a chipotle chili up. Chuck a chop of chicken or chop a chipotle chili up. Chuck a chop of chicken or chop a chipotle chili up. Oh, it's exhausting, isn't it? Thankfully, we don't need to do it too many times when we do the whole thing together. So the next thing is that we layer those 3 lines. Itsy bitsy, Ken and barbecue, and chuck a chop of chicken. And if I put the backing track on that's got all of those in, you can choose one of those and you can do that all the way through. Or you can alternate between the 2 that you find the easiest. Or if you've got some other family members with you, you could each have one of those lines and have a go at layering all 3 up together. Listen carefully though, because at the end we have to say hot roast beef baguette. So let's try that all the way through. I'm going to do itsy bitsy first, and then Ken and barbecue, and then chuck a chop of chicken, and then I might go back and do the first 2 again before we finish with hot roast beef baguette. As an introduction, get ready with itsy bitsy. Itsy bitsy, itsy bitsy, itsy bitsy, ditsy hippopotamus. Barbecue, Ken and barbecue, barbecue, Ken and barbecue. Chuck a chop of chicken or chop a chipotle chili up. Chuck a chop of chicken or chop a chipotle chili up. Itsy bitsy, itsy bitsy, itsy bitsy, ditsy hippopotamus. Barbecue, Ken and barbecue, barbecue, Ken and barbecue. Well done. Did you get all the words in there, or did you get your tongue tied in knots? You can practice this another time, can't you? Practice those 3 separate lines and then make up your own version. Put in whichever of those lines you like, in whatever order, but remember at the end to do the hot roast beef baguette. So the last track we're going to learn is called Chilled Out Clap Rap. And first of all, we're going to learn some rhythm patterns, some clapping patterns. So make sure your hands are free, make sure your hands are ready. And the first pattern is clapping on the 2nd and the 4th beats. So we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. See if you can join in. Ready? 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Great. The second pattern is to the rhythm of clap your hands, clap your hands. And the third pattern is a football rhythm, so it's the one that you might hear chanted at a football match. Now this chilled out clap rap has 4 verses, so there are quite a lot of words to learn. You might want to learn just 2 at a time and then come back to it next week and learn the next 2. But here is the first verse. If I say the words first, maybe you can copy me. So the words go. Put your hands together, it's easy to do. Put your hands together, it's easy to do. It sounds just great and it feels good too. It sounds just great and it feels good too. Well done. So the first verse is what we do when we clap our hands. We put our hands together. The second verse is about the sound that's made when we clap our hands. So again, I'll go first and then you copy. The sound can be loud or soft. Can be loud or soft and low, as fast or as slow as you want to go, as fast or as slow as you want to go. Great, so that's 2 verses learnt. The third verse is about the places that you might clap your hands, so have a think about why we clap our hands. So again, I'll go first and then you copy. You can clap your hands when you like the show. You can clap your hands when you like the show. It's a happy sound, so come on, let's go. It's a happy sound, so come on, let's go. And we're on to our last verse. So the last verse is about giving a great big cheer at the end. Let's make it quiet so it's hard to hear. Let's make it quiet so it's hard to hear. Now clap really loud and give a great big cheer. Now clap really loud and give a great big cheer. And let me hear you say hooray. That's it, we need to put that in at the end. Well done. So let's see if we can put all of that together. So remember, we have our clapping patterns to do and we have 4 verses. So I'll try and remind you as we go through. And then what I'll do at the end of this video is I'll put all 3 backing tracks on so that you can have a go at all 3 songs that we've just learnt. Put your hands together. It's easy to do. It sounds just great and it feels good too. Clap your hands. Clap your hands. The sound, ready? The sound can be loud or soft and low. As fast or as slow as you want to go. Clap your hands. Clap your hands. You can clap your hands when you like the show. It's a happy sound, so come on, let's go. Clap your hands. Clap your hands. Stop really quiet, ready? Let's make it quiet so it's hard to hear. Now clap really loud and give a great big cheer. Hooray! Clap your hands. Hooray! Clap your hands. Ready with the football rhythm? 2, 3, 4.
All I want is a proper cup of coffee, made in a proper copper coffee pot. I may be off my dot, but I want a proper coffee in a proper copper pot. Tin coffee pots and iron coffee pots, they're no use to me. If I can't have a proper cup of coffee in a proper copper coffee pot, I'll have a cup of tea.
All I want is a
All
proper
I
cup of
want
coffee
is a proper
made
cup
in
of
a
coffee
proper copper
made
coffee
in a
pot.
proper copper coffee
I
pot.
may be off my dot, but I want a
my
proper
dot,
coffee in
but
a
I want a proper
proper
coffee in a
Tin
proper copper
coffee
pot.
pots and
Tin
iron
coffee pots and
They're
iron
no
coffee
use
pots.
to me.
They're no use to
If I
me.
can't have a proper cup
If I
of
can't
coffee
have
in
a proper cup of coffee
pot,
in
I'll
a
have
proper
a cup
copper
of tea.
coffee pot, I'll have a cup of tea.